All right, welcome back, folks, to more Shibuya Scramble. This is going to be rough as hell today. Last time we played, well, we did most of Minarikawa's stuff. We saved, the publisher from suicide, and now we're helping him out, trying to find the stories to, well, help him get out of debt. Kano was looking for, that's not what I wanted to do, but whatever. Can't say suicide on YouTube. Well, it's what it was, though. We had a jump with Tama, but we haven't really done anything with this. Okay, we probably shouldn't drink this. No, I better not drink this stuff. It's not even particularly appetizing. Shiri twists off the cap. Bottoms up, she declares, and proceeds to nosily gulp her bottle down. It doesn't seem like she minds it. Maybe it's actually pretty tasty after all, huh? Aren't you gonna have some too? And a Gishida flashes me a look. I guess I might as well try just a little bit. I stick the bottle of burning hammer into my mascot head mouth. It has an unexpected smell like curry. Getting my own lips around the mouth of the bottle, I gulp down the liquid inside. It doesn't taste like anything. A handful of seconds go by. What the heck? Feels like a firecracker just exploded inside my mouth. Now it's spicy, way too spicy. It's like I just swallowed a chili pepper coated in curry powder. Before I know it, I'm sweating bullets. Well, you sweating? Mr. Yanagishida asks. Like a whole lot you are, aren't you? Why does he sound so happy about that? Imagine the smell. God damn it, Istar. That right there is the magic of burning hammer at work. Shiri and I are at loss for words. Burning hammer. Wait, I want to. Oh, can I? There you go. Take your screenshot so you can have an emote. Drink all you want and just burn those pounds away. How's that sound? Good, huh? This is just so stupid spicy it makes you sweat, Shiri blurts out. Blunt and to the point. I approve. Yeah? Well, I guess you're right, Yanagishida says. He hangs his head. What is in this stuff, I ask. I can still feel my tongue tingling. Heck, my body is almost too numb to move. I'm so shocked, I even forget to get properly angry. So, it's this health food product that got imported from America a few years back. America? Yanagishida explains. Oh. Oops, I made an error in the title. I held shift. It's $4.28, not $28 Shibuya. But the import agency went out of business not long after and couldn't move the merch. So I bought up the whole lot. everything they had in the storehouse. Spent all the money I had on it. Chiri arches an eyebrow. How much did it cost you? She asks. 1 million yen for 300 bottles. I can scarcely believe my ears. 300 bottles at 1 million yen for the lot? That's roughly 3,333 yen apiece. Each one of these teensy tiny bottles costs over 3,000 yen? They got ripped off, man, Chiri says. You really think so? Yeah, you're probably right. In the post-bubble economy? Yeah, I know, right? Yikes. He hangs his head even more despondently. This is the sort of thing they'd sell at a 100 yen shop or something. Ouch. Chiri moving in for the kill. 100 yen shops? Really? Mr. Yanagishita lets out the heaviest of sighs. I'm starting to feel pretty bad for the guy, actually. Don't let it get you down, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. But Mr. Yanagishita just lets out a sob-choked sigh. I try again. It'll be okay. Whether or not it does help you lose weight, it is spicy, and it does make you sweat. I'm not sure I follow. How much you selling these bottles for, boss? 15,000 yen per bottle. Selling all 300 bottles would yield proceeds of 4.5 million yen. After deducting expenses such as the cost of the product, rental fee for the venue, pay for the part-timers, and printing flyers, this yields a net profit of roughly 2.5 million yen. It's doubtful that anyone would pay 15,000 yen for a single small bottle, but you never know. There could be a few housewives or young women out there who'd fork out that much in the name of weight loss. A terrifying thought. How much is 15,000 yen? This is an emote? Get your screenshots. What? Get your screenshots. Chiri's jaw practically hits the floor. Mine does the same. 150 bucks. No way. You crazy. Nuh-uh, no freaking way. Calling that price point absurd wouldn't begin to do it justice. Well, look, selling it at that price is my only option. I need to cover my costs. Anyway, please, I need you both to work your hardest. Apparently, he's committed to this insane course of action. Okay, Chiri replies. It's more like a sigh than a proper response, but I can't blame her. As for me, I can't even find the words. I'm so flabbergasted. I can't just sit here and don't speak up. Isn't this just a scam, sir? Oh, what do we say? Scam? I just can't sit there and not speak up. Isn't this just a scam, sir? Sorry, can't hear you. Yanagishita plays dumb. Fine, I repeat myself. Is this a scam? This is a scam, isn't it? He tilts his head to one side. Huh? Something wrong with my ear? Undeterred, I repeat myself once more. This is a scam, isn't it? Tears are welling up in Mr. Yanagishita's eyes. Look, kid, he says huskily. Listen up. He's clearly struggling to maintain his calm. You're in the grown-ups world now. I nod a few times. But a scam is still a scam, right? You, sir. What's your name again? Oh, it's Tama. Okay, Tama, why are you still wearing the costume? What? You straight up dodged my question. Or, oh well, at least I tried. I explained the situation with my suit. Wow. So then, are you really going to do the cells demo like that? Well, if I can't take the mascot costume off, I don't have much of a choice, now do I? No, that won't do at all. I hired you to be a model. If you're wearing that thing, then what's the point? I'm at a loss for words. The point is exactly what he's missing. It's not like I'm wearing this getup because I want to. How about we just cut it off ya? Shiri says with a big grin. She pulls a massive pair of scissors out of her bag. Scissor man. Swing, swing, swing. The blades make an unsettling snip snip sound as she waggles them in my face. Whoa, no, you can't do that. That suit's a rental. I don't want to have to reimburse them for the thing. But what am I supposed to do? I ask. He looks at me uncertainly. Maybe you could have someone from the rental place come down, Shiri suggests, before helping herself to the rest of my lunch. Oh, hey, good idea, Yanagishita says. He seems to be making an effort to calm himself down at least. Just try to grin and bear it until then, Tama. Well, I guess that's that then. I'm sure we'll get it off eventually, I say. Hopefully before the demo. That's the spirit. I really need you to be my model. Model, huh? It's flattering, but I can't help but wonder, would I be any good at that? Well, it's no time to be timid. I need that money, no matter what. Tamagoyaki? It's all connected. What's a tamagoyaki? Giant fish, right? My troubles all started earlier this morning. I was at a knick-knack shop on Center Guy. I happened to pass by and I spotted a red necklace on display on the storefront. I got this weird sensation when I saw it. You could maybe call it deja vu. Something like that. It was as if I'd been drawn to it somehow. This was mine. I was sure of it. I wanted it. No, I needed it to make it mine. As soon as I possibly could. That's how strong the feeling was. The price was 40,000 yen. I checked my wallet repeatedly, but I only had 20,000 on me. Nonetheless, I needed to have it. So how much is 20,000 yen? 200 bucks? There's only one question, how? That's 400 bucks for a 400 bucks for a necklace? That's crazy. Somehow I managed to drag myself away from the shop. A few minutes later, I ran into Mr. Yanagishita. Hey, a voice said out of nowhere. If you want, I can pay you 10,000 for a day's work. I found myself staring at this frumpy middle-aged man who was handing me his business card. Managing Director, Junichi Yanagishita. Yamato Health Food Co. Limited. I'm in a real bind here. Need some extra help. Oh, here you go. Here's your emote. Would you mind coming with me? I'm begging you. Just one day. 150 USD. Really? Would you mind coming with me? I'm begging you, just one day. You seemed pretty sketchy. As much as I needed the money for that necklace, I wasn't going anywhere with some random weirdo. I ignored him and tried to just walk off. Police! Hey, wait a minute, that bag! I remember that bag from Yakuza. What else is in that? Please! Please! Yanagashita grabbed me by the hand. Watch it, pal! I snapped. Hands off or I start shouting for help. Please, it's not like that. Just hear me out. Look, I'm in a hurry. Please! Police! Knock it off. I spun forcefully away from him, yanking my hand from his grip. Oof! Yanagashita whirled through the air and fell into the bushes. Whoa! Where did that come from? He gasped. His eyes were white as saucers. You a martial artist or something? No, I think that was just a fluke. The truth was, I was surprised myself at how well I pulled off that escape move. Ah, okay then. Look, I'm sorry. Can you give me a hand? No way. No, I mean, give me your hand. My hip's killing me here. Oh. I guess the least I can do was help the guy get to his feet. Look, why are you hounding me so much? Please, don't be angry. The moment I saw you, I just felt it. You're the only person who can possibly do this job for me. I let out a sigh, but my interest was admittedly piqued. Kind of job. I need a sales rep for a health supplement. I want you to do PR as a dieting success story for my product. Just look at you. You have the body of an actress. Sales are going to go through the roof. Well, it was hard to feel too offended when he told me that. The job didn't seem as fishy as I initially suspected. All right, maybe I'm interested. But there's one thing. Yeah, whatever it is, I'm sure I can handle it. I need 20,000 yen as soon as possible. So if the day only pays 10,000, all right then. If you can sell 100 bottles at our sales event, I'll throw in a 10,000 as a bonus. How does that sound? I certainly couldn't think of any other way I was going to earn 20,000 yen in a single day. This might be exactly the break I needed. Well, you can do a bagel-thon. That would be a good way. You've got a deal. You have my services for the day, I said, bowing my head. Yes! Yanagashita jumped for joy. What about your hip? Huh? Oh yeah, it's all better now. All better. Fixed itself just now. Yanagashita bowed deeply as I gave him a dubious look. Look, I'm sorry, he said hurriedly. I wasn't trying to pull a fast one on you, honest. I was just scouting for talent, and I saw you, and well, it's totally her sister. Her twin sister. I'm willing to put money on the line now. Was trusting this guy really the best idea? I was starting to worry, just a little, about whether he'd actually pay up. Look, I've staked everything on this sales demo later today. This is the make or break opportunity of a lifetime. Sure. I'll be honest with you. I'm in a ton of debt. 2 million yen. 2 million. Yanagishita's tone had taken on a feverish intensity. If I don't pay it back by the end of the day, then boy howdy, am I up the creek without a paddle. How did you even get into a situation like that? He gazed skyward, a far-off look in his eyes. Because even if he knows he has no chance of winning, sometimes a man just has to stand and fight. But I guess a girl like you wouldn't understand. He laughed and smiled at his own words, but he was right. I sure as heck didn't understand in the slightest. Anyway, real quick, could you put this on? Yanagishita briskly rummaged through his bundle, then thrust a cat costume out towards me. What? Here? Yeah. Before the sales event, you gotta hand out some samples. The burning hammer in the sample bottles is cut 10 parts to 1 with water. Even so, it's still intensely spicy, and drinking it on an empty stomach is sure to cause gastrointestinal distress, or even make the drinker black out. It's hard to believe that a sample of something so dangerous would win over any customers, but you never know. There could be housewives or young women out there who'd accept such a risk in the name of weight loss. Another terrifying thought. The job's already started, you know? And with that, Mr. Yanagishita went about getting me into that mascot suit. Looking back on it, it was a pretty ridiculous turn of events. Why are Japanese characters always in debt? I don't know. They want to follow their dreams, and to do so, got to be indebted. Still, if I'm going to get my hands on that necklace, I got to take the chances that this job will pay out. There's a knock at the door. Who could that be? Mr. Yanagishita asks. We got a customer already? He opens the door and heads outside. No way that's a customer, Chiri asks. I mean, right? She guzzles from her 2-liter bottle. She guzzles from her 2-liter bottle of iced tea. No one's gonna buy something sketchy as this. I guess not, I agree. Get your emote. Chug. About the only thing I can really say about Burning Hammer is that it's spicy. Anyhow, Chiri says, want to get something to eat? But you just ate lunch. 2 lunches. I know this amazing Chinese buffet. Want to come along? Because I'm gonna dominate. Wait. Huh? Someday I plan to chow my way through every item on their menu. Oh, she's getting her experience in, just like in Yakuza. Before I can respond, I hear a sudden outburst in the hallway. What the hell are you thinking selling something like this? The voice sounds harsh and strained. It's quickly followed by another voice, Mr. Yanagishita, sounding desperately apologetic. Well, to be fair now, I did ask whether or not you were on an empty stomach. You must have given someone some burning hammer, huh? Chiri nods. Yeah, maybe. That's weird. Did we really get a customer this early? Hey, isn't the sales demo not 1 o'clock? There's more sounds from the hallway. Chiri gets a weird look on her face. But what? What the heck? What's going on? Die! Suddenly, a man kicks down the door and bursts in, shrieking like a madman. His face is flushed. Steam is erupting from every pore. Shiri and I can only stare, frozen with bewilderment, as he rampages around the room, smashing everything in sight. In a matter of moments, the venue is completely totaled. Then the guy simply charges back out the door. There's no chance of holding a sales demo now. Why did this have to happen? Who was that guy? Why did he have to do this? Chad. Bad endo. Well, we know it's Minarakawa, so we have to make him not come to the sales demo. Bursts in, destroys everything, refuses to elaborate, leaves. Yeah, that's Sigma grind set. Or get him to eat breakfast. Oh, yeah. How would we get him to eat breakfast, though? I feel like if we go... we should cut out the black market. Cut out black market organ trafficking in Shibuya. But getting the material would take too long. We just need to make sure the gossip made the press after all. Whose game is this? This is Freeport's game. Three pieces slated for the interviews, but no appointments had been made. We already did this before. Another writer. We're going to talk to the girl who doesn't work and doesn't eat. Chiaki Iso. I wonder if we'll play as Chiaki. She's so hopelessly flustered. Eat breakfast. How? Gonna call Chiaki. Mellow. That's how I answer the phone. Mellow. Got a job to do. Straight interviews? Kid, you were just telling me how you couldn't afford to eat. Now, can you really afford to be picky right now? Kind of looks like Master Pain. We need half of the 12 pages by 4 o'clock. He does look like Tim, kinda. And he's just as awkward. Asian Tim, yeah. All right, we're gonna try and go to the Dogenzaka. When's next Bagel-thon? Next year. In fact, I'm just letting you guys know, this is the last stream before Christmas. That should give him what he needed to put together the Society of Surveillance piece. You're streaming on Christmas. There is no chance in hell that I'm streaming on Christmas. My grandmother would kill me. Exiting the building, he hopped into the taxi that was waiting outside. Thanks for waiting. Can you get me to Dogenzaka ASAP? Son of a bee! Minarakawa bristled. Beg your pardon? That son of a bee you wanted to give a piece of your mind, sir. Was he waiting for you like you expected? Oh, yeah. And I damn well did give a piece of my mind. Mahjong with grandma? I don't think she plays Mahjong. She can do tarot cards. Do you guys want a tarot card stream? Glad to hear it, sir. Yes. Taboo the Sixth Sense. How do you remember that? Minarakawa pulled out the proposal and looked it over again. The idea for the surveillance story revolved around the claim that hidden cameras had been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping district, upwards of 500 of them. Supposedly, this had eliminated a lot of blind spots, and the crime rate in the area had dropped significantly. No, it's tarot cards. In French, it's tarot. But in English, it's tarot. My mind is filled with useless trivia. That's what millenniums have. The burden that they carry. Cameras were managed by Daisuke Endo, the owner of Endo Electronics and chairman of the local downtown committee. That was Minarakawa's first mission then. He needed to get this guy's story. Scanning the side of the road, Minarakawa finally spotted a rundown electronics shop. The sign out front, which looked like it might fall off at any moment, read Endo Electronics. Right, here's fine. The taxi stopped and Minarakawa pulled out a 10,000 yen bill from his wallet. Damn. Keep the change. What? I said keep the change. Look, don't sweat it. The name's Minoru Minarakawa, and I'm a freelance writer. I care about two things, what's real and what's true. What's real? There's real worth to what you've done for me. And here's a token of my appreciation. It's not much, but please take it. Man, if only journalism had real guys like him. Games journalism, am I right? Minarakawa slid out of the taxi and headed out for the electronics store. Inside, Endo Electronics looked more like a mountain of hoarded junk than an actual business. Is that the Woo 9000 series? I love that. Oasis? With the Y? Oh, I don't know about that one. Towering piles of ancient appliances stretched toward the ceiling. Old television sets with dial knobs leaned against computers with 5-inch floppy drives. Floppy drives? What? How old are these? The storage medium for personal computers in production from 1976 to 2001. The magnetic discs are sheathed in paper or plastic jackets and are known for their tendency to flop around in one's hand. Technically speaking, they are 525. Wait, what? How do I not know this? 5.25 inches in diameter? Incidentally, Door released in 1983. The debut title from this game's producer, Koichi Nakamura, was produced in a 5-inch floppy version. Ah. Door. That's neat. Lucky's more senile than Grandma. Man, Lucky, my eyes are so swollen from freaking. They're so puffy because of the Bagel-thon, and yesterday the stream. Plus, I watched Germa's Christmas special. Plus, I played some Against the Storm at the same time. Man, this game is like daggers in my eyes. What possible use could there be for all this outdated stuff? Mr. Endo, are you there? Minorukawa called out. Nobody came to greet him. The shop was definitely open, though. Surely the proprietor hadn't left it unattended. Hey, Mr. Endo! Come on, I know you're in there. After a short wait, Minorukawa heard sounds from the living space behind the shop. A door opened to reveal a tired-looking middle-aged man. Oh, this could be anyone. Chat? Lucky? Yeah, what do you want? Are you Mr. Endo? Minorukawa asked. I am, the man said guardedly. I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of something at the moment. Could you come back tomorrow, or... Please give me a minute. I'm a freelance writer. Name's Minorukawa. Minorukawa showed Endo his business card. I'm writing an article for 4-Star General Gossip. Huh. A magazine piece, huh? Precisely. So if I could just have a little bit of your time today. Oh, the phone rang, cutting him off before he could get down to business. Mello. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me for a moment. Endo reached into the clutter and pulled out a telephone. Hello? Mello, Endo Electronics. The proprietor listened for a moment, then raised an eyebrow. Yeah, that's a problem, all right. All right, understood. I'll try and get a hold of the customer then. Endo set the receiver back down. What was that about? Minorukawa asked. Oh, yesterday I sold a dry ice machine, and the manufacturer just called to let me know the model is defective. Defective? Apparently, once it starts making dry ice, it won't stop. I'm sure that'll come into play. I'll need to tell the customer I have to recall the machine and refund their deposit. Please give me a moment. Endo sifted through some sales slips, read a number off of one, and made a phone call. Nobody picked up on the other end, however. That's right, he grumbled to himself. He said they had some performance today. Performance? I sold it to a guy from some theater troupe. They're called the Wandering Angels or something. The theater troupe run by Shinosuke Orarai. Orarai? This afternoon at 5:30 p.m. they're performing their 22nd piece, Au revoir. Right now, all of the actors are already at the theater except for Akiomi Mondo, who plays the rival of the main character Ryu. The angry production chief has sent his assistant to Mondo's apartment, but he does not yet know what awaits him there. Continued in The Tale of the Wandering Angels, Episode 2, 6 episodes in all. Wandering Angels, that was Shinosuke's Arai's theater troupe. Minarukawa had an interview with him booked for 2:30. Anyhow, what can I do for you? Minarukawa hastily explained what he was after, and Endo gave him a dubious look. As I said earlier, I'm a bit busy right now. Busy cleaning up, I hope. I didn't get anything done in this mess. Why, you? Are you this rude to all your interview subjects? 5 minutes! Please give me 5 minutes of your time, please. You gotta be joking. Go on, get the hell out of here. Endo headed for the back room in a huff. Fine then, I'll just have to write about what you've already told me. Namely, that Endo Electronics sells defective merchandise. Huh? Now, just what are you implying? Did you or did you not sell that theater troupe a defective piece of equipment? Look, I'm gonna get in touch with them as soon as I'm betting they're in a hurry preparing for their performance. I doubt you'll be getting through to them today. Endo bit his lip. Now that I have your attention, let's make a deal. Oh, it's blackmail. What kind of deal? I'm meeting with a member of the Wandering Angels a little later today. I can let them know about the dry ice machine for you. In exchange, all you have to do is give me my interview. Endo scowled. And where is your proof that you'll be meeting with the Wandering Angels? I might take advantage of a guy when he's down, Minarukawa replied. But one thing, I'm not a liar. The shopkeeper took a few moments to think about it. The most morally upstanding journalist, that's right. Fine, he grumbled. 5 minutes. That's all you get. Minarukawa whipped out his notepad out of his coat like he was drawing a gun. And let's get right down to it, shall we? Go right ahead. So I hear there's about 500 surveillance cameras that have been installed throughout Shibuya's shopping districts. Yes, that's right. Why so many? We used to have a lot of delinquents in town. What are delinquents? Well, they're young people who act rowdy or cause trouble, often at arcades or convenience store parking lots, and who frequently resort to petty theft and other mischief. Also referred to in more outmoded terms as ruffians or hoodlums. Endo said the word with marked distaste. Oh yeah? I remember there being some problem kids around. They were real punks. They vandalized my signs, made a mess of my storehouse. They were just awful. Let's see. Minarukawa scribbled diligently on his notepad. My own son put together a sort of vigilante squad to help teach those punks a lesson. Wait, vigilante squad? Well, hold up there for a sec. Minarukawa jutted out his hand to interrupt. This guy's son was part of the vigilante squad? What a stroke of luck. Maybe he could also provide some info for the article on the gangs of Shibuya. Sorry, I don't mean to get too far off topic here. could you tell me the name of this group your son belongs to? They called himself SOS. SOS. Originally, a group of well-meaning young people who would get together downtown as sort of a vigilante squad trying to keep Shibuya clean and safe. In those games, the group never engaged in theft or other criminal activities. However, more recently, SOS has become one of the biggest gangs in Shibuya, resorting to defacing public property with graffiti, shoplifting, and shaking people down for cash. Prided themselves on being the top gangs in Shibuya and all that. Top gang in Shibuya? Did I really just hit the jackpot here? Not to pat myself on the back, but go me. All I have to do is step outside and the story finds me. I think I might be a natural at this. As it happens, I'd also like to interview people from SOS. Would you be able to put me in touch with your son? Yeah, sure. But you should know that my son isn't in the gang anymore. Oh, we can jump to Aki. Let's do it. Now they were looking for a blue van. There it was. Blue van. A blue van had appeared nearby, parked in a spot that had been empty previously. Aki couldn't see who was inside, but there was definitely something fishy about it. Besides, there weren't any other blue cars around, so this had to be it. He'd been right. The crooks had come back after all. That's no parking. I'm gonna take a quick look, Aki said. You wait here. Before he could carry out his plan, Hitomi jumped to her feet. Without a word, she rushed towards the van. Hold on, I said wait! She wasn't slowing down. Aki caught hold of her arm. Wait! This could be dangerous. What if the kidnappers are in there? What if my sister's in there? I have to help her. Aki knew full well what it was like to be impulsive. This was one situation where cooler heads would have to prevail. We can't just hang out here. What if the car takes off again? That's why I said I was going to take a look first. And isn't that dangerous? What if they do something to my sister because some random guy comes snooping around? Oh, huh, yeah, you got a point. Aki thought as fast as he could. The criminal had told Hitomi to get into the van. There has to be a specific reason for that. What if they were planning to abduct her as well? Whatever the case, he couldn't just let her go. He had to make a snap decision. Look, just let me go first. I don't want to put you at any risk. Okay, let's go together then. How does that work for you? Umbrella goes with a B? Everyone agrees? Oh, Freeport does not agree. Is anyone gonna cut the decision? I'll go with B then. That was first. Okay, let's go together then. Does that work out for you? Please, we have no idea who or what we might run into. Hitomi gave a slight nod. All right. Let me go first and you follow, okay? Got it. Aki waited as Hitomi started walking, then followed her at a distance so it wouldn't look like they were together. She headed straight for the van. Two men got out of the car. Neither of them were Japanese. Aki picked up his pace in case he needed to close the distance. One of the men approached Hitomi and said something to her. She gave an affirming nod. Suddenly, the two men grabbed her from the other side. They dragged her to the van and shoved her into the back seat. Aki broke into a sprint. Of course it was a trap! He couldn't guess what their whole plan was, but kidnapping Hitomi was obviously part of it. Before he could reach the vehicle, the doors slid shut. The van sped off an instant later. Aki raced after it. He ran as hard as he could, thinking of nothing else. He couldn't give up now. It's like Relic's never dealt with kidnappers before. Yeah, it's kind of crazy because he lives in Brazil. He couldn't give up now. He couldn't let things end like this. He'd made a promise. No quitting halfway. And no turning his back on someone in trouble. But the car kept getting further and further away. Before long, it was just a blue speck, then vanished into the cityscape. No! But Aki never saw Hitomi again. Well, let's see the other plan. Look, just let me go first. I don't want to put you in any risk. Hitomi's determination wavered at the look in Aki's eyes. Please, we have no idea who or what we might run into. If I think they're gonna try to run off again, I'll give some signal. Then you can come along. And I doubt they'll be interested in leaving again. Hitomi gave a reluctant nod. Please be careful. Will do. And tell me if my sister's in there. I will, you can count on it. Aki stepped out in the open and started walking towards the van. He tried his best to look as if he wasn't paying any attention. Yep, just an ordinary passerby. As he got nearer, he tried to sneak a glimpse inside. The van's dark window film made it hard to see who might be inside or even how many people. Casually, he moved closer still to get a better look. Uh-oh. Suddenly, the sliding door burst open, and several people jumped out. None of them were Japanese. Within moments, Aki was surrounded. Whoa, what? Hey, what's the deal? Aki said. He let out a little chuckle. Man, that thing must be packed. How many seats you got in that thing anyways? He took another step towards the vehicle and looked inside. Oh! One of the men pulled out a knife from inside his jacket, thrusting it out in Aki's direction. He probably meant it as a simple threat, but on reflex, Aki went into self-defense mode, kicking him right in the jaw. Blah! There was a loud crack as his foot connected. The man dropped out like a light. The other stared, then rushed him. Well, this sure hadn't gone as planned. Too late to take it back now. The damage was done. Aki was going to have to take out the rest of these punks too. He nimbly shifted his feet, evading their initial attack. Having to take these guys on 3-1 wasn't going to be pretty. Aki! He heard Hitomi cry out. Crap. He hadn't given any signal, but she had come out of hiding anyway. Hitomi, stay back! How was he supposed to fight off 3 guys and protect her at the same time? What could he do? What should he do? Within moments, a number of passerbys had gathered around the fight. Maybe they heard Hitomi shouting. Oh, they were trying to learn new moves. Hey, what's going on? Oh my god, is that a knife? This ain't just some petty squabble. Someone call the police. Some of them began taking photos with their cell phones. Grab a bike. One of the men cursed in frustration, then signaled for his buddies to get back into the car. Aki couldn't stop them. The engine roared to life and the van sped away. Knowing he'd never catch them on foot, Aki merely watched it go. He'd failed. This was his fault, all of it. Aki bit his lip hard. How could he possibly face Hitomi now? Aki. Hitomi's voice was hollow, empty. Aki stared down at his feet like a scolded child. I'm sorry, I didn't see whether your sister was there or not. I see. The words, so simple and matter of fact, stung him to the heart. I'm so sorry. But Hitomi simply shook her head. The fact that she wasn't even chewing him out made him feel all the worst. I know I messed up, but he was going to say, I'll make up for it. Somehow, but he froze with fear at what he saw next. Gun! Across the street, staring at them, was the man with the cane. Hitomi, it's him! They had to get out of there. He grabbed Hitomi by the hand and bolted down Dogenzaka. The assassin followed, staying on his side of the road. Who pulls out a gun like that? Aki wasn't sure what to do. Should they try heading into the alleys and side streets again? No, it was more dangerous to head someplace where there'd be fewer witnesses. Best to stick to Dogenzaka for now. The man wouldn't be able to gun them down if they managed to lose themselves in the crowd along Center Guy first. Besides, the guy had to use a cane. Aki and Hitomi could outrun him. Hand in hand, they sped along Dogenzaka and through the intersection in front of the 109 building. Come on, Hitomi, just a little further. Okay. She was panting, but pressed on. Aki risked a glance back over his shoulder. Huh? He stopped in surprise. What's wrong? Hitomi asked. That guy, he's not following us. The slope leading down to the intersection wasn't all that steep. It's an intersection. Several plainclothes detectives have been hiding amidst the crowd in the intersection as part of the kidnapping stakeout. Right now, Detective Kuze is sending a message to all officers over the wireless. And so the detectives have stopped to listen in. It's a bit unusual. An observant individual might notice. It's strange that the gunman hadn't bothered to pursue. Still, there was no time to worry about his behavior right now. Hitomi, can you still run? Yes, I'm all right. And this is our chance. They needed to put plenty of distance between them before an assassin came after them again. But they also needed to find the van again and rescue Hitomi's sister. Would they be able to find it and yet stay hidden from the man with the cane? Aki wasn't sure, one way or the other, but with Hitomi in tow, he hurried towards Long Center Guy. To be continued. I'm gonna get some water. I'm already out. I'm already out. Freaking game. Okay, so we have Aki on to be continued. We have Kano to be continued. We can go back to Minarakawa before the jump. Oh, Minarakawa hesitated. Guess he's no use to me then. Oh, believe me, I know how you feel. The look on Endo's face spoke volumes. There was no point in interviewing Endo's son if he wasn't in the gang anymore. It figured that Minarakawa's run of good luck would end eventually. Still, he'd gotten a lead in the form of a name, SOS. That was progress. Alright, so back to the matter at hand. He flipped his notebook back open. What did you decide to do about all these juvenile delinquents? I set up a little tiny web camera. What's a web camera? Camera's designed to send video information to a computer via internet. Look carefully and you can often spot them outside private residence and even on public streets where they are installed for use in surveillance. Given the risks of transmitted data being intercepted, the images recorded by such cameras are generally encrypted to prevent playback by unauthorized third parties. Many landmarks and attractions make their camera footage publicly available online. I see. And I'm guessing the webcam did the trick. Sure did. And so then the other local businesses heard about it and started asking me to install some for them. Web cameras aren't particularly expensive, so it wasn't too tough to set them all over downtown. So who's in charge of these security cameras? It's members of the downtown business community. Cameras are connected via a wireless network. A what? A wireless network, also known as a LAN or local area network. A communication system that can only be used within a limited geographical area. A wireless LAN transmits using electronic signals. Although convenient because it does not require cable attachments, there is a risk of signals conveyed in this way being intercepted by a third party. How's your security for this wireless network? Oh, no problems on that front. Endo seemed surprised at the question. All of the footage sent over the network is fully encrypted. Encryption is the process of encoding data so it is indecipherable by a third party. Restoring encrypted data to its initial form requires what is called a key, a program designed for this purpose. There are two main types of cryptographic systems: secret key crypto systems use the same key for both encryption and decryption, and public key crypto systems, which use a public key to encrypt the data, or require a private key known by the recipient in order to decrypt. The password is password. The password is 1111. But still, people can't feel too good about being recorded on camera without their knowledge, don't you think? Minarikawa asked. The shopkeeper's expression darkened. He hoped to strike a balance between crime prevention and protecting individual privacy. Uh-huh. And who determines what is that balance? Minarikawa let a note of challenge slip into his voice. That would be me. I've been entrusted with the management of the security cameras. I see. So essentially, you're providing your own moral oversight. Are you implying that I'm abusing my authority? Ando shot back. I'm doing this in the name of public order. Right, you've had your 5 minutes. Now get out of here. The shopkeeper stood up and headed into the back. I'll be sure to let the Wandering Angels know about the dry ice machine. Episode 2. When Akiomi Mondo didn't show up at the theater at the meetup time, production assistant Yukio Tozuka went to call him at his apartment. Upon arriving, Tozuka found that the place had been staked out by debt collectors. Mondo had borrowed 300,000 yen, and they wouldn't leave his home until he paid up. It looked like the only way to save Mondo was to give the debt collectors the operating funds for the theater. But before Tozuka could head back to relay the news, the props master, Shinichi Bando, showed up. Endo didn't reply. Well, we got one of our stories. Minarikawa had gotten enough of a story to put an article together, so he decided to hurry to a coffee shop and get started on some coffee. On some coffee. Hey there, Dark. How you doing? Are you here for story time? He was making his way down along Dogenzaka when his cell phone rang. The incoming call display showed Chiaki's name. Chiaki, what's going on? Oh, it's no use. She sounded like she was on the verge of tears. What's no use? I can't do this. I just can't talk to people passing by on the street. What? Why not? It's just that everyone seems so busy when they're walking past. If I try to interrupt them, they're gonna be all mad at me. Well, who the hell cares if they get mad? Minarikawa was ready to start ripping his hair out. I don't want them to be mad at me, she whimpered again. This is a game? Oh, it's one hell of a game. Well, this wasn't about what she wanted, was it? She was supposed to be working, not whining. Look, Chiaki, you need to get me those interviews, period. I thought this was stories from Reddit. He hung up before she could squeeze in an objection. That bag looks sick. Damn it, Minarikawa muttered. Just what I needed. One more thing to worry about. He pulled at his hair a few times, then cast his worried gaze in the direction of Shibuya Station. To be continued. Oh, so that's 3 stories down. Oh, That means we can do Tama now, since Minarikawa is not going to be at the... Yeah, so we can do Tama. Okay, we have already read through this. We pay you 10,000 yen for a day's work. A little creepy man. I'm in a real bind here. Looks pretty sketchy. I ain't gonna deal with him. Please. Watch it, pal. Please. Oof. Where did that come from? You a martial artist or something? Like I said, we've been through this already. We're just trying to get to the new parts. Because basically how the game works is there's many different paths, and like some paths are locked through others' actions. And since we changed Minarika, the journalist, he was in our other storyline, he stopped by the office and that screwed up everything. But in this storyline, he went to the electronics store instead. So we'll see what unlocks here. Because even if he knows he has no chance of winning, sometimes a man has to stand and fight. Can you put this on? This is a 100% bad end run. Well, I mean, we're not gonna try to get bad ends, but if we run into them, that's possible. Oh, this is new stuff, actually. Once again, I asked myself, why am I in such a rush to get this necklace anyways? I honestly don't know. It's the strangest thing. I try my hardest to think of a reason, but all I get is a dull, aching throb at the back of my head. It's the same pain I felt earlier. As if I've gotten a good bonk on the head or something. To be continued. Okay, well, we got one more storyline to get into continue, and then we get to a new time zone. And that would be Osawa. Oh wait, we're gonna get DMCA'd again. I actually got DMCA'd on YouTube for this. Alright, let's dial up Makino. Took a nice deep breath and then he dialed up Makino. Has there been any progress? Makino asked as soon as he picked up. His voice was somber. No, Osawa said. Nothing much yet. A tiny sigh came in from the other end of the line. I see. Then what can I do for you? Sir, I'll get right to the point. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral... Oh yeah, we forgot about this storyline, which is very somber and macabre. Have you conducted clinical trials using the antiviral drug? Makino didn't respond right away. What makes you think that? He asked at last. Osawa described the emails he'd received. When he'd finished, Makino let out his breath in surprise. Not over the phone, he said. We'll discuss this in person. I'll head over to your place when I'm done here. As soon as possible, sir. As soon as I can manage, Makino said. You're not the only person who's busy. Oh, I'm sure he's going to try to kill us. With that, Makino hung up. There was no doubt about it then. There had been human testing. Osawa went to let Tanaka know he would be meeting with Makino. Mr. Osawa, are you going somewhere? A stolid-looking man stood in the hallway, as if he had been waiting for Osawa to emerge. It was Yoshio Kajiwara. Jesus. He's a detective with the Shibuya Precinct Criminal Investigation Division. He's sociable, but awkward. And despite his reserved personality, he can be quite unsettling. His colleagues at the precinct refer to him by nicknames such as Japanese Columbo and Little Ken Takakura, given his own quirky demeanor as a detective. Japanese Columbo? He struck Osawa as a bit too soft-spoken and meek for a detective, really. And his treatment of the kidnapping case gave an impression of flighty detachment that had made him seem rather undependable. No, not really. Have there been any developments, detective? Kajiwara shook his head quietly. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really sure what to tell you. Kajiwara then slipped a hand into his suit pocket. Bananas. He pulled out a banana. What is a banana, anyways? Well, it's a highly nutritious fruit belonging to family Musaceae, genus Musa, because they contain a variety of different carbohydrates. Bananas can provide long-lasting energy and are an optimal energy source when exercising. The famous slipperiness of a banana peel is due to the oils in the inner part of the skin. But even if all of the oils were removed, slapstick comedians would still probably slip on them anyways. Are you hungry? Are you hungry for a banana? These are good for when you're tired. The EAA is silent. Musaceae, whatever. I'm fine, thanks. Keep your bananas. You should eat your banana. Kajiwara seemed to lack a detective's sense of situational awareness. Just being around him got on Osawa's nerves. Well, sir, I need you to come with me, the detective said. The A in banana is also silent? No, I don't know about that one. If you don't mind, he took Osawa by the arm. As Kajiwara hurried him towards the living room, Osawa could hear the other detectives talking on the other side of the door. He's working at a time like this? Seriously? Sheesh. I do not get rich people and their priorities. The W in worm is silent. Brian? Oh, enough of this. Yeah, I feel bad for his daughter. Her dad's a real piece of work. Nice, they were bad-mouthing him in his own house. Oh, I'm really sorry about all of that, Kajiwara said, pausing in embarrassment. Osawa pushed past him and opened the door. Who's talking shit? A number of police detectives had holed up in the living room. They were suddenly silent as Osawa entered. So tell me, would you rather I stay here weeping as I watched this disaster unfold? The detectives winced and grimaced. Forgive me for not being a perfect father, he added, his hostility building. Kajiwara stepped forward to intervene before things got out of hand. Now, let's not be touchy. I'm not being touchy, Osawa snapped. But he knew full well that he was. These guys had the time to sit around backbiting him, but not to go out and bring Maria to safety? Already close to half a day had gone by without any new developments. The ransom demands had come in the previous night at 8 o'clock. Maria had been abducted roughly an hour before. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. The kidnappers called only once, so the police were unable to run a trace. I'll do it, Hitomi said. Anything for my sister. She didn't hesitate in the slightest at the suggestion that she make the ransom handoff. Osawa was staunchly opposed to the idea, but the police were of the opinion that it was better to acquiesce to the kidnapper's demand. Ai's reaction, on the other hand, baffled nearly everyone. We don't have 50 million just lying around. Are the police gonna be putting that together for us? Kajiwara stepped in to reassure her. If it comes down to it, the police will be able to help raise the money. Okay then. Go ahead, do it. We would need you to pay it back afterwards, though, of course. Then what's the point of that? Ai's voice spiked up to a piercing shriek. Calm down, Osawa told her. You're making a scene. Ai turned away in a huff. It's all right, detective, Osawa continued. I'll talk to the bank first thing tomorrow morning and figure something out. After that, Ai stormed out of the room. Kajiwara bowed his head several times in apology. As soon as Hitomi has made contact, we'll apprehend the suspect, and they take things from there. What? Hold on. Won't that put Maria in danger? If we let the kidnapper get away with the money, we have no proof that he will return the hostage safely afterwards. That's true. Like, how would this work? If they get the money and they have the girl, why would they give it back? I'd ask Relics, but we saw him fail the last kidnapping thing, so. I see, he said. So you're saying that catching this guy will be easier for you if he keeps my daughter hostage? No, that's not what I was implying at all. Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his brow and bowed profusely. At least, I promise we'll get your daughter back safe and sound, Mr. Osawa. Obviously, there was nothing to be gained from further challenging the detectives. Or should we say defectives? All right then, I'll let the police do their job. Osawa bowed even lower than Kajiwara had. How long are you just gonna loaf around? Ai shrieked as she stormed into the room. Hurry up and arrest this guy. She was becoming increasingly hysterical. An hour had passed since the suspect had taken the money, yet the police had made no effort to apprehend him. The police apparently had a rule against discussing an operation before it was fully resolved. So the Osawas had been left in the dark. But they had overheard the task force talking over the wireless, and it appeared that they were deliberately letting the suspects roam free. Hey! I snapped again. If he gets away with our money, you are going to reimburse us, right? Osawa scowled. She made it sound like the money was more important than Maria's life. The detectives exchanged uneasy glances. Osawa chided his wife. It's only money, it doesn't matter. Osawa said nothing. Well, what do we do? What do we do? Do we go with chiding the wife? Or do we say nothing? Yes, ma'am. B. Osawa said nothing. By now, he was accustomed to Ai's coldness towards the two girls. The twins were Osawa's daughters from his first wife, who had passed away 15 years ago. Ai had no blood ties to Maria or Hitomi herself. Well, I continued, are the police going to reimburse us or not? She glared pointedly at Kajiwara. Well, right now we're focused on making sure Maria is safe. I stormed up to him, shouting right in his face. Stop dodging the question, answer me. Yes, of course. Kajiwara squeaked. Maybe would you like something to eat to help you calm down? He held out a bananas. I smacked it out of his hand. No! Oh dear, what a waste. Kajiwara scrambled to retrieve the fruit from the floor. Osawa went over to Tanaka and whispered into his ear, I'm going to meet with Mr. Makino. Tanaka nodded silently. Turning, Osawa saw Kajiwara looking in their direction. They made eye contact, but Osawa quickly looked away and strode out of the living room. Kajiwara followed after him. Excuse me, Mr. Osawa? Yes, what's it? Yes, what is it? The detective fussed sheepishly with his hair and forced a smile. Sir, we'd appreciate it if you would remain in the living room as much as possible. Osawa was in no mood to stand on propriety. Look, I got a ton of work to do, he said. Are you here to tell me to play the role of the grieving father too? No, not at all. Personally, I happen to think you're an admirable father, Mr. Osawa. Admiral? Did the word have a ring of sarcasm? He had no way to tell if Kajiwara was being forthright with him or not. You're no ordinary fellow, Mr. Osawa. You're a genius. A genius? Me? Osawa made a skeptical noise. Am I mistaken, sir? You've made very important strides in the field of virus research. Or, well, so I've been told. Osawa wasn't sure how to respond. He had never considered himself a genius. He was just someone who was more interested in viruses than he was in other people. Everyone who's a genius is also a bit odd after all, Kajiwara went on. Probably he had intended that as a compliment, but still. I mean, there's nothing wrong with weirdos. As long as they leave us ordinary folks alone, you know? Is Is this guy trying to praise me or insult me? Osawa let out a heavy sigh. Genius, weirdo. What did it even matter? So long as he could be left to do his work. He didn't care one whit on how he looked in other people's eyes. Kajiwara wiped the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief. By the way, what are you working on right now? He asked. I'm afraid you wouldn't understand even if I explained it to you, Osawa replied. Right, precisely. Even if I gave it my full attention, it would still be beyond me. He peered with sudden intensity at Osawa's face. I'd appreciate if you didn't hide things from me, sir, he said. Osawa gaped at a loss for words. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kajiwara added hurriedly. Goodness, that made me sound like I'm accusing you of hiding something, didn't it? The detective bowed his head repeatedly. I hope you'll forgive the banana again. Where's the banana emote? I hope you'll forgive me. He held out the banana. That won't be necessary. How about this then? He pulled out a bar of chocolate from his pocket. No, it's already eaten. Did this guy just carry an endless food supply wherever he went? Oh man, I want to be friends with this guy. Get your banana right here. Oh my. Kajiwara murmured. You geniuses really are tough to sort out. This feels like me trying to socialize. Do you also carry tons of food there, Rusty? He inclined his head, mumbling to himself for a moment. What can I get for you, sir? What I'd really like, some peace and quiet. Some time by myself. In a daze of exasperation, Osawa felt his way to his study. Locking the door, he finally let out the breath he'd been holding. Then his eyes alighted on the bookshelf against the wall. Oh, not the music again. I don't want DMCA. He pulled out a photo album and began to flip through it. There were pictures of his daughter's grade school enrollment ceremony. Their mother had already passed away from illness, so Osawa had taken the girls himself. He remembered that, after the ceremony, Hitomi had come down with a fever. Hitomi had been rather sickly as a girl, falling bedridden at the drop of a hat. Maria, by contrast, had been lively and energetic, quite the handful. Osawa had found it remarkable that their personalities could be so different, despite them being twins. He flipped further into the album. There was a picture of the three of them at their grade school graduation. Maria was looking away from the camera. Osawa felt like someone had stabbed a dagger in his heart. His daughters or virology? Which truly concerned him more? Which did he truly love? It was ridiculous to try to compare the two. He'd known the answer before he asked himself. Even so, human emotions were complicated and sometimes made people act inconsistently. One of the consequences of that was this photo album. This was the last photo he had of Maria. He searched and searched through the rest of the album, but she was nowhere else to be found. To be continued. I think we got all of them. Whoa. Do we have new characters? No. Still the same gang. It's lunchtime, that's right. All right, so who are we checking out first? Do we check out Kano, our detective? Do we check out the Mean Clean? Do we check out the mascot Tama? Tama? In 1 hour, the Burning Hammer sales demo will begin. There's an emote right there. Shiri is laying out the assortment of snacks that we'll have on hand. Hey Tama, you hungry? Why, yes I am. I mean, that should be pretty obvious at this point. All I've had since putting on the stupid mascot costume is some burning hammer and a bunch of iced tea. Hey now, Shiri shoots back. What's with the attitude? Shiri, you do remember that you ate my lunch, right? The sticker said it was best before noon. You made that up? Huh. Yeah. Shiri chortles merrily and chugs some more iced tea. You know, all that sugar's not too good for you, Shiri. I'm just gonna say it right now. Chugging like 5 gallons of iced tea every day. Okay, folks, Mr. Yanagishita calls out as he slips into the room. Lunch break's over. Get back to work. I don't feel like I've had much of a break. If anything, I'm even more mentally exhausted than I was before. There's a box full of Anagachi toys in the storeroom on the 3rd floor. Mind bringing those down? Anagachi? What's that? The name makes it sound like it's some sort of product knockoff. Mr. Yanagishita's face widens in surprise. You never heard of them? You know, Anagachis. It's a digital pet game where you raise an eel that lives in Tokyo Bay. A portable electronic game in which you raise a conger eel, an anago, feeding it daily and clearing away feces. Depending on how you raise your eel, it can wind up developing into various forms, from normal eel to ultimate eel sushi. You can even use infrared communication feature to bring over friends for your eel from another nearby Anagachi device. There is also a sister product, Trout Watch. By connecting the two, you can view a special event where the eel and trout characters go to a pub together. Never heard of it. Well, I guess maybe a lot of people in Japan haven't heard of it yet. But it's all the rage now with the youngsters over in NYC, New York City. NYC? Oh, he must mean New York City. Popular in New York, really? Anyway, I did some quick checking and that's what I learned. So last month I bought a whole bunch of them. And once again, you were swindled. Yep. Ouch. Shiri dropping the hard truth. Mr. Yanagishita lets out a pathetic whimper. No! He's crying. Just like that, his confidence evaporates. He starts muttering to himself. I thought it sounded a little fishy, really. I mean, think about it. Why would kids in New York be interested in raising eels from Tokyo Bay? That's twice that he buys merchandise that was imported to from the U.S. Maybe it's just a Westaboo. Like, oh, the U.S.? Oh, buy it for sure. And what appeal would an eel character even have? None, that's what. I should have known that. I did know it. And why'd you buy them? This farce is getting tiresome. Anyway, here's your emote, by the way. It was gonna cost way too much to keep them in storage, so I was just gonna let the recycling guy take them. He hangs his head in shame. In a matter of moments, he's borderline catatonic. The type of eel that gives Anagachi its name, Anago, can be loosely translated as the creature that lives in a hole. Mr. Yanagishita is probably wishing that he could crawl into a hole right about now. Chiri, on the other hand, flashes a big, bright grin. Still, you know, eel is pretty delicious. Oh, Chiri, Yanagishita blurts. Thank you. He clasps her hands in gratitude. I wasn't exactly complimenting you there, boss. It's the same thing. There's a little bit of me in each of my products. Anagachi and I are one and the same. Oh, there's a brief Anagachi gameplay clip. The trick is to feed your eel proper food and give it proper exercise. Another important strategy tip is to make sure you obtain the sharp chef's knife when you visit Kappabashi Kitchen Town partway through the game. Normal eel? Wait, are we eating our eel? Which to say, eels and I are one and the same. Go on, then. Say something nice about eels. Chiri chimes right in without missing a beat. Eels are awesome. When it comes to eel sushi, 100-piece barely whets my appetite. Jesus, Chiri, we know you like to eat, but Jesus Christ. You know, these two make quite a pair. That means a lot to me, Chiri. Thank you. Thank you. I don't understand what any of this is about, but if it helps mend Mr. Yanagishita's wounded spirits, I guess I can't complain. I leave them to their devices and head for the storeroom. Now let's let the girl and the mascot. Exactly. How are you gonna fit? The storeroom door opens with a rough grating sound. Okay, where's the light switch? Fumble around, feeling for the switch box. My costume paws mute the sensations in my hands enough that even finding that is difficult. That's the light switch? Is it in the fuse box? I bat at the wall willy-nilly until eventually the lights come on. Apparently I found the switch, even if I didn't feel it. Whoa, what the heck is this? The storeroom is practically overflowing with shoddy goods. A painting that looks like a child's scribblings. An oddly shaped hat bearing the words "Grow 2 inches, guaranteed." A cheap looking pendant with a tag that says it's set with a miracle stone. These stones are nothing more than simple glass beads that were purchased at 5,000 yen apiece. The seller claimed normally these sell for 10,000 a pop, but if you buy 100 of them, I'll give you half off. At which the buyer declared, "It really is a miracle," before joyfully agreeing to the purchase. The fact that someone like Yanagishita actually exists to buy these things up is also a kind of a miracle. It's like this is the knockoff boneyard where cheap products go to die. I walk away 5 minutes and come back to Lucky being a furry. It's a costume. They break away from their pathetic herd knowing their time has come and end up in this graveyard of a storeroom. Where does he get all the money to buy this garbage? Well, he's also very in debt. Let's see, Anagachi. I quickly spy the cardboard box I'm looking for. And I catch sight of a dark silhouette out of the corner of my eye. Eek! I yelp. Ew! It's one of them. Black, flat, and quick. Long antenna. Often spotted in kitchens. Sometimes, somehow, their legs wind up in restaurant food. Ew! Besides speed, the dark shape, it couldn't be anything else. It peers back at me from the shadow of the Anagachi box, the faint light catching the luster of its carapace. It looks ready to leap out at me at any moment. I need to act fast. I challenge it to single combat, or snatch up the cardboard box and make a run for it. Well, what do we do, chat? Do we challenge them to single combat? Or do we grab the box and get the hell out of here? I challenge it to single combat. It flitters aloft. It's gunning for me, all right. Racing to myself, I step forward to confront it, which paradoxically helps calm my nerves. I get the sneaking suspicion that this is not the first time I've done battle with one of these things. It's like I've trained myself to protect someone who's even more scared of them than I am. As I mull that over, the thing is hovering in the air. The thing hovering in the air presses its attack against me. Ay, it's my chance. I snatch up a nearby piece of cardboard and swat at the creature hard. Get the hell out of here. It sails out the window in a graceful arc and flitters away into the world beyond. Whew. Oh, is that going to come into play later on? Like someone's eating and it falls into their food? Whew. At least we parted on mutually acceptable terms. I didn't have to squash it or blast it with pesticide. Hefting the box labeled Anagachi, I scurry away from the graveyard of schlock merchandise. Whew, I made it. When I get back, Mr. Yanagishita is still clutching Shiri's hands. An eel, super tasty when you salt broil it, too. Thank you. The tempura style is probably the best. Thank you. Well, Mr. Yanagishita's spirits have certainly turned around. Okay, I got it. hold out the big cardboard box. Excellent! Thank you! You girls are the greatest! Yanagashita shouts. His voice resounds with gratitude. Hey, that's it! I got an amazing idea! Why don't the three of us start our own company? I'll pass. Shiri and I respond in unison. Man, you two shot that one down quick. Well, for today, let's just focus on selling Burning Hammer. By the way, where is the Burning Hammer? There wasn't any in the storeroom, and I didn't see any here either. Oh, that's right. It's back on the loading dock. We should probably bring it in. Oh, and bring the Anagachis with you, too. The recycling guy is going to be showing up soon. Come on, let's go. Shiri and I follow Mr. Yanagashita out to the loading dock. Do Japanese people really make crosses with their hands to say no? All the time, man. All the time. But the loading dock, turns out, is empty. There's no sign of Burning Hammer anywhere. It's gone. Why would you leave? Why would you leave your merchandise out on the street? Then his voice rises to a shout. It's gone! All gone! The Burning Hammer, it's all gone! Flying into a panic, he searches frantically from one end to the dock to another, leaping into the air, even peering down into the cracks. No matter where he looks, there's nothing for him to find. It was right here, a little while ago, like right here, right here! I hear the sound of an engine revving outside. Mr. Yanagashita cries out in alarm. We can see a truck starting to pull away. Its bed is piled high with cardboard boxes and other assorted trash. Hey boss, is that? Yes, there it is! Mr. Yanagashita begins racing after the truck. My Burning Hammer! His voice cracks as he cries out. Give it back! Give it back! But he's no match for a speeding truck, and the boxes of Burning Hammer vanish before his very eyes. Burning Hammer! Come back! Come back! Yanagashita's wailing echoes from the surrounding buildings. It's like something out of a movie. What the hell? What's up with that truck? Tama, who the heck was that? Hey, don't look at me. Huh? With all those piles of stuff, it looked like it was just the recycling guy. As soon as he says it, revelation dawns on his face. The recycling guy? I can see the colors draining from his face. The word recycling guy gave me an idea. If it was him, maybe he thought he was picking up the Anagachis by We have to find him! We have to find that truck! The man is absolutely beside himself. Cherry Tama, you two split up and try to track it down. Wait, why do we have to look for it? Again, Cherry and I speak in chorus. If there's no sales demo, there's no money to pay you. And all the work you've done will be for nothing. Right, and when he puts it that way, I guess there isn't much of a choice. Somehow or another, we'll have to find that truck. It can't have gotten far, he continues. Now go hunt for it like your life depended on it. Chewie and I look at each other and sigh. How do you want to do this? She asks. Want to search together or should we split up? You really gotta get some worker rights in Japan. We should split up. Shira and I go our separate ways, searching for a truck full of junk. I make my way to Center Guy. Oh! I'm so focused on searching all over, I walk. I'm so focused on searching all over as I walk that I lose track of where I'm going. And I wind up bumping into a man who's hurrying along with his daughter. Oh, it's Master Pain. Teruo and Hana Toyama. They came to Center Guy to eat lunch. Before that, they were at Heaven Publishing in Shibuya, Wonchome. While wandering around distractedly looking for somewhere cheap and tasty, Mr. Toyama bumped into Tama. Oh, pardon me. I hop back to my feet and go to bow to the man in apology. Ow! He bows at the same time and we manage to bonk our heads together. Bonk. Sorry. As her dad drops to his knees, clutching his head, the girl begins to wander off. Hey, Hana, wait! The man lurches to his feet and rushes after her. He seems like an odd kid, only 10 or so, but strangely cold and distant for her age. Nursing my own sore head, I make it all the way to Shibuya Station, but there's no sign of the truck. I'll probably never find it just by wandering around randomly. It's already 12:35. The sales demo starts in 25 minutes. I have serious doubts I'll be able to find the truck by then. Arg! What should I do? Oh. Keep auto. So Tama is blocked until we have a jump. What dust we pick? Probably our last story for tonight, even though it was like 2 minutes short from ending the stream. I'll do a bit more. Go back and not split up? No, I think that's the right idea though. When it shows the when it shows the keep out, that means we need to jump from another character. Kano had been watching Syndicate members hand off the attaché case for an hour and a half. He still had no idea where this relay might be headed. The man he was tailing was now about 10 meters away, close enough that Kano could close the distance and apprehend him at a moment's notice. But his orders remained the same. Follow and observe. He watched as the case was handed off once more. By now, the shock of seeing it passed yet to another accomplice had worn off. It's already been 90 minutes, huh? It was Sasayama. At some point, he'd crept up on Kano from behind. They don't seem like they're trying to get away at all. They're just walking. What could they be up to? Sasayama shrugged. Yeah, it's weird. Kano recalled Dictum 89. Dictum 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. If Tateno's wisdom held true, the Syndicate must have some reason for what it's doing. Were they just trying to throw the investigators off the scent? No, that couldn't be it. They were wandering in circles, staying right in the same area. They were just running up the clock. What if that's exactly what they were after, buying time? Kano felt a sudden conviction that he was on the right track. If they needed more time to make sure they got their hands on the ransom payment... Wait, hold on. Could it be that the ransom money wasn't even in the case anymore, or the real case had already been switched out? Could it be that the ransom money wasn't even in the case anymore? Got it! Sasayama perked up. You got what? Each time these crooks hand off the case, they sneak out a bundle of a million yen. They keep doing that, and eventually the case itself is empty. Of course! That's how they've been playing us. Kino and Sasayama exchanged a look. How many people would they need to make the switch? How many people would they need to make the switch for them to get all the money? 50 million yen divided by 1 million, that makes 5 people. That's it then. No, wait, 50 people. That many? That can't be the deal then, Sasayama said. Guess not. They both sighed in unison. The man with the attaché case made his way back to Shibuya Station. The heck? Sasayama grumbled. He's right back where we started. Kano felt his frustration growing. Honestly, looked like the syndicate was just randomly lugging the case around town. Near Shibuya Station, a girl approached the suspect. She was Oh, it's Chiaki. It's Chiaki. She was Japanese and entirely unlike any of the other criminal accomplices. She spoke to the man while showing him something on the notepad. He glanced at the pad but didn't slow down. Within moments, he had left her behind. It looks like she just passed him a message. Well, that sure is fishy, Sasayama muttered. What, the girl? Yeah. Want to go hit her up? Sasayama could only mean one thing, questioning her. Yeah, let's go see what she knows. She can't be involved with this, can she? Hey, let's go see what she knows. Sasayama and Kano ran over to the girl. Excuse me, miss, we'd like to ask you a few... Are you happy with your life? The young woman shouted. She thrust her notepad in Kano's face. Tell me this, are you happy with your life right now? Huh? Looking at the notepad, Kano saw the same question written in big bold letters. The girl's eyes widened in surprise, as if she hadn't expected the two men to actually stop and listen. Right now, sir, she continued more quietly, are you happy? And if so, could you please take this survey about, you know, about your life? Are you happy with it? The more she spoke, the more flustered she became. Sasayama stepped in. Hey, I need to know, did you speak with that Western fella just now? Huh? No, that's not what I'm asking. Sir, are you happy with your life right now? Are you happy with your life right now? Kano got a sinking feeling in his stomach. This kid was looking for some religious converts or something. You did speak with him, didn't you? Sasayama snapped. What did you tell him? The girl's rambling abruptly ceased. Her already ruddy face went even redder. and tears welled up in her eyes. Poor kid, Kano thought. She's just out here trying to get people to listen to her survey questions. There's no way she's part of this kidnapping plot. Look, miss, for the time being, it would be a good idea for you to leave this area. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to explain. The girl's only response was to start sobbing outright. I can't do this anymore. I want to go home. Kano and Sasayama exchanged awkward glances. I want to go home. I want to go home. Passerby began shooting curious looks at the trio. Kano, you need to get back to work, Sasayama said. I'll escort this girl to the train station. He didn't quite manage to stifle the embarrassment in his voice. Right. He hurried away, his eyes already searching for the suspect they'd been tailing. Didn't take long to find him. The man's black garb made him stand out in the crowd at the intersection. It occurred to Kano that all of the criminals who handled the attaché case had been wearing the same black clothing. That fact made the whole situation even weirder. Could they really be ignorant that they were being followed while they were all wearing the same eye-catching outfit? It was more like they were going out of their way to make sure the investigators spotted them. That didn't provide any clues as to what they were after, though. The longer Kano kept tailing these guys, the less it all made sense. Was it really such a good idea to keep this up? Someone's life was in danger, and they were just letting the kidnappers carry out their plan, whatever it was. The very first page of the Dick Diary spelt things loud and clear on that front. Dick Dictum 1. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. Right now, the single most important thing was ensuring the hostage's safety. That was a situation where Tatano would have stuck to his guns for sure. Kano thought back to that day 3 years ago. A burglar had shut himself inside a financial office and doused the place in gasoline. Kano had just been put on police box duty. Nobody is assigned to a detective post right after graduating from the police academy. Detective positions can be quite hard to come by. Candidates are selected for detective training only after accumulating enough experience working at the local police box, a very small type of neighborhood station manned by only a handful of officers. And was ordered to the scene because his box was just down the street from the standoff. Several officers had surrounded the building, keeping close tabs on the situation. The suspect was shouting nonsense through the entrance of the first floor. Things were getting heated. A crowd of alarmed onlookers had started to form as well. "Step aside," a voice said. Suddenly, from amidst the throng, a middle-aged man in a rumpled business suit had approached Kano as he hovered nervously at the edge of the scene. "I'm sorry, sir," Kano said. "You have to stay back for your own safety." He attempted to usher the man back into the crowd. A no-nonsense look crossed the newcomer's face. He spoke in a low voice. "I'm Detective Tatano from the Shibuya precinct. What's the situation?" "Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Yes, of course." Kano stammered, then quickly explained. He hadn't taken anyone hostage, but there were still people on the upper floors of the building. Giving only a slight nod, Tatano marched straight up into the building. The plastic container of gasoline the suspect had used was on the ground out front. Tatano picked it up and dumped the remaining contents out over his head. Kano was at a loss for words. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. "I've covered myself in gasoline too," Tatano called out from the entryway. The tension in the air ratcheted itself up several notches. "Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing?" Kano heard the burglar shouting from inside. "If you're gonna do it, Tatano called out. "We can die together." And he walked into the building. All Kano could do was watch things unfold through the plate glass window. Tatano was talking to the burglar, but Kano couldn't make out the words. The crook was clutching a lighter, his hand trembling. His expression was like that of a frightened child. That reminds me, you guys ever watched the old, like there was Yu-Gi-Oh! Zero, where Yugi was like sending people into the Shadow Realm, and there was one of the episodes had something to do with a lighter and a glass of alcohol. You should definitely watch it. Tatano slowly approached him and took firm hold of his shaking hand. The onlookers erupted into cheers and applause. Tatano handed the now docile suspect over to the detectives and warily sat down against the planter out front. It was like something ripped straight out of a police drama. That was amazing. Tatano breathed. You have to deal with guys like that as quickly as you can. You let a situation like this get even a little out of hand, and you never know how things might go south on you. Tatano spoke quietly, almost as if he were talking to himself. As the police evacuated the rest of the building, Kano noticed that there were children and elderly people among them. If the perp had managed to set the fire, there was no way they would have escaped in time. I mean, what if he actually set the place on fire? If someone's willing to risk their life, not to whisk their life, you're not going to convince them of anything unless you do the same. Kano still remembered the awe he felt at Tatano's matter-of-fact tone. Kano hadn't become a police officer out of any real sense of duty. He just thought it would make Rumi happy if he became a detective like her father. Besides, civil servants tend to stay afloat in times of recession. His time playing rugby meant he was in good physical shape for the job. He never really thought too much about protecting the citizenry or keeping the peace. Is your brain getting sent to the Shadow Realm too? That's right. But now here he was in the presence of a detective who literally risked his life in the line of duty without a second thought. A police officer never loses sight of what he's supposed to protect, ever. Getting back to his feet, Tatano tugged off his gasoline-drenched coat and walked away. Want a shower? Kano wrote the words in a notebook he just purchased. Thus, the Dick Diary was born. Thinking back to the way Tatano had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers, made Kano feel all the more raw about tailing these syndicate members. Letting the crooks just wandering around wasn't going to bring Maria Osawa to safety, and of that, Kano was now certain. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. He uttered the fundamental dictum out loud. Well, you lost sight of it completely, a voice said out of nowhere. What? Kano turned around. It was Shizuo. Uh-oh, Dad. Rumi was with him. Sir? Kano stuttered. Weren't you supposed to be waiting at the cafe for... There was some lowlife there, so we left. Rumi's dad looked plenty mean under the ordinary circumstances. Right now, he looked like a man possessed. Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm still on duty at the moment. I'm going back home, Shizuo huffed. You're not marrying my daughter. He turned to walk away. No, please, just wait. I'm done waiting. I'm going home. Please, don't do this. Just hear me out. I've heard all I need to hear from you. Rumi, we're leaving. Dad, please. Goodbye. Seizing his daughter by the hand, Shizuo stormed out without another word, dragging her behind. Shinya, she called out over her shoulder. Rumi, she was gone. Rumi was gone. Kano desperately wanted to go after her, but he hesitated in an agony of indecision. I can't turn my back on my responsibilities. I'm a detective. My work has to be my first priority. Going after Rumi isn't what a good detective would do. Oh, Detective Tatno, what should I do? Tatno, Still, the dictum echoed in his mind. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Ever. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect. I... 6 months later. Kano made his way through a small corner of a vast field into the Nagano countryside. Slowly and leisurely, he tilled the soil. He surprised himself with his own newfound enthusiasm for organic farming, learning more from Shizuo day after day. His father-in-law had taught him the ways of farming from the ground up, and while things had been rocky between them at first, their friendship was now growing stronger. Pausing to wipe his brow, he smiled at the acreage around him. He looked forward to tending the crops he had sown until harvest came around. If he had stayed on as a detective, he might as well never have known the joy he now found in his work. And this wasn't the only seed Kano planted. By the time harvest season came around, the new life growing within his dear Rumi's belly would be ready to celebrate it with them. Bad end? Is it really though? We got married. Okay, yeah, now I get it. Yeah, bad end. Bad end. All right, well, guess that'll be it for Shibuya Scramble for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a good holidays. Probably gonna stream after Christmas. Don't know when exactly. I'm very busy. So hopefully we can get like 1 or 2 streams in. And yeah, hope you have everyone has a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and have a good one. Thanks for watching, everyone.